86% of renters say they cannot afford to buy a home, with majority saying they will never afford one. And this is a story from, who is this from? Fox Business. Let's go through this here. 86% of U.S. renters said they can't afford to buy a home. 50% doubt they will ever own a home. Brent Bjornson, a 39-year-old father, explains homeownership seems impossible, and that hurts for two kids of baby boomers. Matt Agan, a CNN reporter, notes this is just widening the gap between the haves and have-nots, emphasizing that 83% of Americans consider homeownership as essential milestone, yet many can't achieve it due to escalating cost. Jeremy Anderson, a 40-year-old father of twins representing a growing sentiment, says, we have given up on home ownership. I'm not going to pay $350,000. Shit, $350,000. You wish that was the case in South Florida. For a rundown house, the rising prices of starter homes, now at least $1 million in 237 cities, exacerbate this frustration. Tom, thoughts on the story?
Well, this is the affordability crisis, another story in living color about it. And what people are talking about is, hey, inflation is making it so expensive to live. How am I supposed to save a down payment? Now, veterans don't need a down payment, but the rest of us do, at least 10%. So inflation in PBD is making it hard for people just to save for that down payment. And then, okay, now you've got a down payment, but how big is that monthly payment going to be based on the price of the house? And we had yesterday the news, the day before yesterday, previous podcast, the news that people were getting into contracts, like an offer is a contract. Well, but now can you get it done? And banks were causing those contracts to be canceled because they can't approve them for the loan with everything there. So this is basically underlining the affordability crisis, but also it underlines you can't wait on the economy. It may suck, but you got to drive with side hustles and do a lot of things to get yourself up. You can't just wait for it to come back to you. You got to be inspired and you got to drive against it. But this is what the average person is facing. This is the affordability crisis in living color.
Adam.
Yeah, this is the conversation of our time. It's, we had a conversation a few days ago about, has the American dream changed? And I said, or is the American dream dead? And I said, no, the American dream is not dead. It's just completely changed. The American dream, formerly known as buying a house, having 2.2 kids, having the picket fence, having the two-car garage. Well, that's great for your parents, for your grandparents. But if you're trying to do that now, there's something that is working against you, and it's a four-letter word, and it's called math. So if you want to get the two cars, if you want to get the picket fence, if you want to get the house, you want to do that, and you want, how much does it cost to raise a kid? $250,000 from 0 to 18. The average price of a house is now record high. What's the average price of a house? About $450,000. That's average. Good luck if you're in LA. Good luck if you're in San Francisco. Good luck if you're in New York. Good luck if you're in Miami, any of these major cities. So the math doesn't add up. So my question to you guys is, how much money do you want to put towards your house? So you could buy a house, go for it, but you might end up being broke because of it. I say the number one thing that's going to cause you to drive to the poorhouse is your car. But what will keep you in the poorhouse is buying a little too much house than you can afford. Now, the last thing I'll say is it all depends on who you are. So here's my recommendation, take it, leave it, what have you. If you're single and you don't have kids and this is not something you're doing in the next 2-3 years, what have you, there's zero reason to buy a house unless you're some expert realtor, professional real estate guy. If you have a family and you have kids, this is a difficult situation because you're probably going to need 3 bedrooms at least. You're going to need space for the kids, for the family, if your in-laws come in, what have you. So I totally understand that component. And the last thing I'll say about real estate, Rob, I think I sent you something. Pat brought this up the other day about the investment of it. The stock market doubles what you'll receive in terms of...
Is that what you said?
Yes, exactly.
That's so funny. I'm looking at the same thing.
Okay, perfect, because we talked about this.
Yeah.
So, people don't... the beauty of real estate is you can touch it, you can hold it, you can feel it. A lot of people don't understand the stock market.
Yeah.
There's people listening out there, they're like, dude, I don't know, bulls, bears, red, green, up, down. I have no clue. But I understand what a house is, and I understand what touching it and feeling it a property is. So if you look at this report, Rob, so 9.8% is the historical return, so basically 10%. Where's real estate? 4.2%. So it's literally a double bet more than double to put yourself in the stock market. Now, again, it's lifestyle, it's emotional. I get it.
Let me show this.
Yes,
Rob,
sir.
on this same, that's the one you want to go to.
Yep.
That's the one you want to go to. So check this out. So if you go to 30s, go to real estate. 30s, the entire decade, you would have made minus 1.2% in real estate. Of course, we know why.
The big crash.
40s, you would have made 8.1% annual rate of return. 50s, 3. 60s, 2. 70s, 8.7. 80s, 5.9. 90s, 2.7. 2000s, 4. 2010, 3.8. Look at that for 3 decades. It was 4% or less. 2020, it's what? 10.2. What happened to the next decade after we had an 8+? Go to the 8+ decade, what do you see? 3, 2. Go to the other 8+ decade, what do you see? 5.9, 2.7, 4.38. So we may have just had the greatest decade ever in real estate. It's not going to follow up by another 10.2, folks. If that's what people are looking for, that's not what the follow-up's going to be. There's going to be a bit of a fall. And if you can look at all the other stuff, by the way, you can look at cash, you can look at stocks. On the stock side, you'll see minus 0.9, 8.5, 19.5, 7.7, 5.9, 17.3, 18, minus 1, 13.4, 11.9. 4 out of the last 5 decades have been in double digits. By the way, last night a guy sends me a Connect, and he's asking me about financial advice. I said, first of all, let me start off by saying, even though I was a financial advisor for 20 years, I'm no longer a financial advisor. He says, you talked about, stock market, all this stuff. You talked about crypto, Bitcoin, gold. Where should I put my money if the cash is going to take a massive hit? I said, here's what I would suggest to you. How do you feel about AI? How revolutionary do you think AI is going to be in business? And who do you think AI will impact the most? If you actually think about it, who's AI going to impact the most?
Positive or negative?
Positively, who's it going to impact the most? Think
Business
about
owners and
okay.
Yeah.
So specifically, who though? Fortune 500 companies,
big time.
Right.
business owners,
Yeah.
because they have the ability. Those who adjust and put money into AI, they're going to blow up. How much are they going to blow up? What's happening to NVIDIA? What's happening to these? NVIDIA was a $10 billion company just a decade ago, 14 years ago. It's a $3.3 trillion company right now.
Crazy.
What does that look like? But this is the part. If somebody's watching right now and they believe AI is going to revolutionize the way we do business, you have one of 3 options. Either 1, apply it in your day-to-day life. Either 2, work for a company that is leveraging AI and participate in the upside. Or 3, go out there and start a business that's AI. But for some of you guys that are watching and saying, what if I'm none of that stuff? Guess what? Invest in equities. I'm not giving you advice as a financial advisor. This varies to everybody else. Equities is going to go for the next 10, 20 years if you believe in AI. Simply if you believe AI is going to revolutionize the game in a major way. A part of the PowerPoint that we were talking about on the AI webinar with the white paper we gave everybody that was on, we put 300 hours of research into it. It talks about every single time manufacturing came out, who took a hit. It shows how many cars they were able to produce with the technology advancement. But AI is going to take this thing to levels we've never seen before. And what will AI affect? Basic question. Will AI affect gold? No. Will AI affect real estate? No. Will AI affect cash? No. Will AI affect Bitcoin? Crypto?
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, maybe. Will AI affect equities?
All day long.
Of course. Of course. So I think I'm very bullish on what AI is going to do to the market. So for some that are saying real estate, again, 5, 10 years, family, kids, that's going to happen. Do your thing. But if not, don't count out equities, because there's a lot of guys making money right now in equities.
So because you were talking about, Adam, somebody like, put yourself in my shoes. Veteran, so I got no down payment. That's what Tom was talking about. I'm planning on, kids, marriage, all that stuff within these 3 years. We saw that the prices are starting to drop in Florida, Tom. Like I thought maybe now would be the time to start looking, Tom, and get that. Especially if that's where I'm looking to be. Why not pull the trigger a little bit earlier, if
Well,
that's already
it may be. And what we're going to do is we'll get together and we'll get smart. We'll get smart about the neighborhood, smart about the candidate properties, smart about the HOA. You can be smart. You can have two. You could have 2 townhouses on the same street. One is an 800 HOA. One is a 400 HOA. Those kind of costs will chase you around. So get smart about it, and you can find optimized opportunities.
We announced the different speakers that'll be at the Vault Conference. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which you already know. Nick Saban, greatest college football coach of all time. If you say no, it's because you probably don't like the guy, but the guy's won, I think, 7 national championships. This will be one of the first business conferences he's doing since he retired. Max Tegmark, who wrote a book called Life 3.0. One of the, some claim it's the best book of all time on AI. Even Elon Musk is a big fan of his. And then Will Guidara, who founded the #1 restaurant in the world. Vault Conference. We have CEO tickets sold out, founder tickets sold out, executive tickets sold out. Platinum's about to sell out. Only generals are going to be left. And then the Menect. Those of you guys that are competing for Menect, I cannot wait for you to come to the Menect dinner, the Menect lounge. There's going to be a room where you'll be networking with other people, CEOs. Here's what the categories look like right now with lightweight. Bryce Mitchell's at the top, then Caleb, then Jose competing. Rob, can you just go to the site so we can see some of the other names? Just go to Menect and then go to the leaders board, and we can show that. Zoom in a little bit if you could. So the way it works, the scoring system, per Menect you finish, go to the top, Rob, a little bit. Not that high. Go a little lower, Rob. Go a little low, right in the middle, right there. For each completed Menect is 1 point. Each review is 2 points. Each unique review is 3 points that you get. So based on that scoring system, you can go a little lower. Here's what you'll notice. Bryce Mitchell at the top, then Caleb, Jose. These are people that have never been an expert on Menect, that never had done a Menect, that just started. Adam Hudson, Brianne Dressen, Stephen Hamal, all these guys. You're in the top 10. Go to the next one, middleweight. These are people that had done Menect before. Matten's first place right now, big lead, 211. Then it's Samuel Riley, Drew Miller, Cecilia Vargas is on there, and CEO Rollo Tomasi. Okay, he's at 6th place.
Rollo.
Now go to the next one,
Welcome
heavyweight.
back, Rollo.
We got Dennis Panev, first place, then it's Candace, then it's Calvin Ing. Dustin's right behind Calvin. Rob Gargullo. Oh, Rob G, buddy boy. Wayne Wyant, Michael Mara, Sapala, Kelly Davis. Super heavyweight, Vinny, dominating everybody. And then let's go to the next one. Go to the next one. These are users asking questions. Matt's at the top, but only a 10-point lead. And I think he's coming from Australia to the Vault. Russell Morgan. Mark. And then Russell Morgan, Rachel Ronald. You know who you are. And then go to the next one. These are people that have never used Menect. Now they're asking questions. Shaw, Rachel Cox, Matthew, user 0, Chris. So these are folks that are using Menect. Gang, in a political climate like this, you guys are asking a lot of questions about politics. Download the app. Ask Candace. She responds like this. Ask Tulsi. They're actually responding. Ask Cuomo. They're actually responding. What do you think about XYZ? Some of the biggest communications right now are being done on Menect. Go back to that profile you had, Rob, of all those guys. Questions for me, for Tom, for Vinny, for Adam. Use our QR code. Ask us whatever questions you got today.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.